Hey cruisers, I'm Sherry with Cruise Tips TV. Welcome to our stateroom on the Star Princess. We are on a 10-night cruise to the Mexican Riviera and Sea of Cortez in the month of November. So we're dealing with a combination of cool and warm temperatures. We are really excited to show you around our stateroom and let you know how we keep everything organized in our room. You may have seen a video similar to this before on a shorter 7-night cruise. So this one will be similar. You'll see a lot of the same stuff that we take with us on every cruise, but things may be a tiny bit different because the stateroom is a little bit different, and of course we're packing a little bit more stuff for 10 nights instead of 7. This is stateroom A333 on the Aloha deck, which is deck 12, very high up right underneath the pool. Let's take a look around. First, I'm going to start by showing you our vanity area and how we organize the desktop space in the drawers. So we're going to head right over this way. As you can see, we have the desktop here, our phone, of course, and then this is what we would basically call our charging station. So we only have one plug in this area. So we have brought a little power strip here to keep everything going, as well as a USB charger, which is really helpful. Also on this area, we have a set of binoculars because we have been looking for whales and rays and all kinds of stuff on this cruise. This here is a portable speaker. You may have seen this before if you watch our Cruise Gear channel. I did a little review on this guy. And here is where I keep all of my lipstick and our pens. I find that I use my lipstick a lot, I use pens a lot, and I don't want to put them away in a drawer, so I keep them out. Last but certainly not least, we have my little desktop clock here. This guy's been on a few cruises, and I think it's going to bite the dust any day now, but it's handy. You definitely need to bring a clock along when you go on a cruise because other than this teeny tiny little display on the phone here, which I don't know if you can see that, it's really hard to tell the time when you're on a cruise, and you will have to turn on your television sometimes to find out what time it is. So that's why we do that. Now I want to give you a quick look at this little bank of drawers right here next to the bed. This area right here I have designated as my hair and makeup drawer. So I have my curling iron and brushes here, as well as all of my makeup and things like that. So I've got a big makeup case and everything that I would need to do my hair because in the evening before dinner, I sit here at the vanity and curl my hair and put my makeup on in front of the nice mirror. And there's no plug in the bathroom, so you kind of have to do it all out here. So that's what that's all about. In here, nothing too special, just books and coloring books and things like that for our son. This drawer here is my husband's kind of tech drawer. We've got all kinds of equipment in there. We've got GoPro stuff, more charging stuff. I don't even know what else is in there, honey. You can chime in if you want. Just kidding. All right. Over here, we have our little TV and bar area. Now, we're at the end of our cruise, but when we first got on the cruise, we stored a lot of our sodas and waters and things like that up here in this area. There's also one other plug in the stateroom, which can be found behind the TV. Now, I am only 5 feet tall, so I cannot, for the life of me, reach that plug at all. My husband has to get up there, or I have to stand on a chair to reach it. So, as a small person, I would say that's not very convenient, but hey, that's all right. We've got the good old remote. And like I mentioned, we stored a lot of sodas up here before, but they're pretty much gone. Most cruise ship rooms will have a little TV stateroom guide type of a thing up here. So that is that little area. And this, of course, is just our fridge that has our sodas and water. Nothing really special to look at in that area. Over here, we have our first little wall-mounted organization area. This right here is a laminated piece of paper with our itinerary on it that I created before our cruise so that we can pop over here anytime and find out what time we're going to be in port any one day, what time I need to be back on the ship, what port we're going to be in, what day it is, because I don't know about you, but I lose track of what day it is on a cruise immediately when I board, which is a good thing, right? But this really helps me out. I just ran over to Kinko's and had a piece of paper laminated. And we also have a little bit of information on here about what activities we have planned for the day. In some cases, we had shot lists here. Other times, it was just things we were going to be doing for fun, where we needed to meet our tour operator, things like that. This is another magnetic area that I have designated for the ship map and invitations and things like that. So of course, if you've never been on a cruise before, it's really helpful to know that the walls in cruises are metal, therefore they are magnetic, and it is really nice to get things off of the tables and up onto the wall. So that's something that we really like to do. Now I'm going to take you over to the middle nightstand here to show you what we have in this area here. It's a little bit tricky, it's kind of a tight squeeze, but in this drawer right here, I have a little bit more of equipment, my stuff. I have a selfie stick, some headphones and things like that for editing my videos at night, and a waterproof case for my cell phone. I also bring along a bag of bags. I know that's kind of a funny thing, but this is a bag of Ziploc baggies that can come in handy for so many different things, from packing a wet swimsuit in a backpack to, gosh, you know, popping a banana in there and sticking it in your backpack, whatever it may be. These are great, so I always recommend that you travel with a few extra bags. I also like to throw my sunscreen in there. And here we keep books, and this is my sleep mask. This is what I like to read to my son before bed. Obviously, this is my son's bed here. You can see from the stuffed animals. Now we're going to head over and take a look at the closet area. Now, Princess has these awesome walk-in closets that I just love. They do not have doors. So right when you walk into the bathroom area, you get to see your closet area. Let's pop over here and take a look. I have it divided up into loosely my clothes, my son's clothes, and my husband's clothes. Nothing really fancy here. One of my favorite things though is to pack a hamper, a pop-up laundry hamper, which we have right here. You can see that it's currently full. We are at the end of our cruise, so we have a lot of dirty clothes, even though we did laundry on this cruise. You may have also noticed that I have all of our shoes in this area of the floor. We also have another nice shelf up here. Not a lot of stuff up here. This is where my husband keeps his tripods and backpack and things like that, but you could put anything you wanted to up there. Another thing that you may have noticed is that you do not see our suitcases anywhere. That's because they're under the bed. An old cruising trick, but definitely get those puppies out of the way. As soon as you get them unpacked, slide them under the bed. You don't need to look at them for the rest of your cruise. Don't use closet space for them. That's the way to go. Now let's take a look at this little shelving area. I'm going to flip around here. Also, this is the ladder to the bunk bed. Forgot to mention that. The bunk bed isn't pulled down right now. The stateroom steward brings it down after dinner in time for bed. This is our little bank of shelves and the safe. This is my husband's packing cube. Since we're getting ready to go, he likes to keep everything really organized. So he's kind of started to pack things up a little bit and get organized before we disembark tomorrow. Of course, we have our good old safe. This is a key code safe. We don't put a lot else on this shelf just to keep the safe clear. This is an area that I've got some of the things I bought on board. It's kind of like my shopping throw area. And then these are all of our clothes, just nicely folded down into this area. Well, maybe not so nicely. We've been on board for 9 days, so things are starting to get a little bit disorganized. Now we are going to flip around and take a look inside the bathroom. First thing we'll look at is the door here. This is my hanging organizer. People often ask me how I keep my toiletries organized, and this is one of the ways I keep organized. For things that I don't want to put on the countertop, small things throughout my cruise, I leave them here. So we have things like nail clippers that are really tiny, sample packets, earplugs, little teeny tiny nail polish, floss, extra shampoo, things like that are all going to stay here. Now we'll come in and take a quick look at the shelving area. Princess has really nice bathroom shelving. You can pretty much get all of your toiletries and that kind of stuff onto these shelves. Even though they're only on one side in this bathroom, we found that we have plenty of space. Up top, you'll see this is mostly things like sun care, sunscreen, pain reliever, hair stuff. This little area here is kind of my designated lotion area. If you have been following our other videos, you know I love sample size stuff. So when we get a beauty box, I save all the stuff I would love to use on a cruise and bring mostly all sample sizes on cruises so I can try out new things like face lotions, shampoos, stuff like that. But there's a few full-size things that I bring from home as well, like my perfume. This last shelf here is basically just deodorant, toothbrushes, shave cream, my husband's hair gel, things like that. And this absolutely gorgeous, I know this is ridiculous, but it's a really nice sewing kit that we got from Princess at the front desk, at the purser's desk, because we've had buttons popping off of our clothes this whole cruise. But I don't know if you can see this. It has a needle already pre-attached to every color of thread you can imagine. I know it seems silly, but it was a really nice touch on this cruise, and we really appreciated it. Standard countertop. I should note that on a longer cruise, it's probably overkill, but I like to pack my own hand soap, because on a cruise you need to wash your hands quite often, and I just don't really like these little guys. I find them to be quite slimy and gross, and I don't like having to replace them all the time. Now I have soap all over my hands, sorry about that. So I like to bring my own hand soap, and it really pays off, and I think it keeps us nice and clean. My son's touching handrails and things like that. It's really important to keep him clean. So that is this little area. The last area that I want to give you a peek at here is just the shower. There's not a whole lot to see here, but you might notice that there's a washcloth crammed into that little nook where the little shampoos are. For some reason, the way that it's designed, it's really slopey. And all of my stuff was slipping off of the shelf and hitting me in the feet when I was in the shower. So I put a little washcloth up there to kind of give it some leverage, and it's worked out really, really well. Not a huge amount of space here. There's also a little clothesline in most cruise line showers. I don't know if you can see that there. It's a great place to put your wet swimsuits at the end of the night, which is something that we definitely do every single day, let them dry out. Last but not least, I want to show you this area by our door. If you've seen some of our previous videos, you may know that we like to use very super strong magnetic hooks. You can see these are really super strong to make a little grab and go area by our door. This grab and go area kind of changes throughout the cruise, but right now I have kind of a lightweight beach bag here. I have my little case that I put my cruise card and some hand sanitizing wipes in. I have a lanyard for my son's cruise card. Most cruise cards these days come with a hole punched in them, and you can just pop them around your neck. It's really nice. And of course, this is our Go pole, so that when we're using our GoPro to take footage for you guys, that we can grab that and run with it. It's kind of an awkward thing to put in a drawer or a shelf. And up here, we've actually used these hooks to place our hats for sunny days. And it's just nice to keep things up off of the countertops. We like to keep our room pretty organized. It looks a little neater than normal right now because our stateroom steward did just clean it, and we tidied it up a little bit for you. We're not really that fussy about the cabin, but we wanted to give you a general idea for how we lay things out. If you have any questions for us about how we organize our stateroom for the duration of cruise that you're going on, or the type of weather that you're sailing with may be kind of different, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to interact with you guys. Thank you so very much for watching, and make sure you check out all of our trip videos from this trip. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye. I almost forgot that part. Bye. Okay, let's go to the pool. See ya. Hey, click me to subscribe.